Hello everyone, I'm Joshua James. I'm a professor at Hallym University in South Korea. I've been in Korea living and working for about 6 years now, and in that time I've learned a lot of really interesting things about how Korea is different from the other countries I've lived in, how Korea is potentially in some ways similar to the other countries I've lived in. I've met a lot of friends here, I've met a lot of really interesting people, and I've also learned a lot about the history and the culture and the way that history and culture plays out now. And I'd like to share a lot of these things with you, as well as talk about where Korea should go in the future. What should Korea be striving towards? How can Korea be an even better country? It's already a great country, even if a lot of Koreans don't really seem to think so. It is a very interesting country with a lot of potential and a lot of opportunities. So with that in mind, my friends and I have created a community called Sasek Lim. Sasek Lim is, in Korean, kind of like thinking garden. Our goal of this is to have discussions about what Korea should be striving for, where Korea was in the past and how that affects potentially now and the future. And what should Koreans be striving for, and how can Koreans, especially younger Koreans, find kind of this newfound respect for the country, not just this extreme nationalism, but actually love the country and care for the country. Understand that Korea is a great country without being brainwashed to think so. And specifically, how can all of us make Korea and any other country even greater than it already is? So this channel is specifically about Sasek Lim and all of the things that we're doing related to Sasek Lim. For example, we really appreciate older Korean culture. For example, hanbok. And we will be actually renovating a hanok, which will be also included in some of these videos. But mostly this is about the discussion groups that we have. We're going to try to have at least monthly and possibly, hopefully weekly discussion groups about Korea and where Korea should go from here, and maybe how Korea should change, how should it stay the same, things like that. We'll be inviting a lot of different guests, mostly from our friends. We're based in Chuncheon, so a lot of our speakers are going to be either Chuncheon residents or currently in Chuncheon for one reason or another. And a lot of our discussions are going to be based on everything from language to culture to history to guessing the future to maybe current issues that are going on right now that we think we need to talk about. It's not limited. We don't have a specific agenda, for example. We don't know what the best way for Korea is right now, but we want to find out. We want to try to get a clear idea of how can we do better, basically. Yeah, so that's the introduction to Sasek Lim. I hope you follow this channel, I hope you follow these videos, and I hope that you contribute conversation. What we really want is a dialogue about how can Korea be better for everyone. And I completely understand that I'm saying this as a foreigner, but all of the people that I'm talking to are also Korean, and we just have different perspectives sometimes, and that's fine. It's okay to have different perspectives, and as a Chuncheon close to citizen, I'm part of the community as well. So I hope that's acceptable to everyone. But trust me, it's not just me giving my opinion as a foreigner about what Korea should be. I want Koreans to figure out what would make them essentially happier. One of the issues we'll talk about is suicide, essentially, in Korea. The concept of Han, why Koreans have this kind of anger and sometimes apathy and unwillingness to do something because they're kind of caught in society, caught between these powers. And we'll describe all those things, potentially why they exist, try to figure out why they exist, and maybe what we can do about it. Of course, Korea is dynamic, it is changing. A lot of things, especially on the surface, change very, very quickly. We'll talk about that. But at the same time, a lot of the structures that have existed since the 60s, maybe even the 50s, still exist in Korea. So even though Korea does change quickly, a lot of the same things still exist at the infrastructure level, let's say. Some of those even go back to kind of Joseon dynasty thinking. So there's a lot to talk about because Korea is a really interesting country with a lot of different ways of thinking, a lot of issues that are going on, that have been going on for a long time. There's a lot of things to talk about, and a lot of things that we can potentially make better. So that's what this channel is about, how to make Korea a place that every Korean is proud to live in and wants to live in. Yeah, so that's the goal really for Sasek Lim, is to discover what that is or what that way could be, and then try to get that message out. We'll be talking about a lot of different things. Like I said, most of it is maybe philosophy or discussion. Some of it is, how to make mekju or dok or something like that. These traditional Korean things, which of course my friends and I love. There's a lot of traditional, really interesting things in Korea to see as well. So that is what Sasek Lim is all about. Getting to the core of Korea so the culture isn't lost, and trying to figure out how to mix this traditional culture with the new culture and get the best of both worlds rather than the worst of both worlds. So that's the goal. I hope you join us, and I hope it's interesting to you. So thank you very much.